Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all.
Fantasy games have the power to transport us to worlds beyond imagination, where legends are born and stories unfold in ways that capture our hearts and minds. Today on Nerds Games, we're diving into the 10 fantasy games with the absolute best lore. Games that not only bring incredible gameplay, but also deliver deep, intricate stories that keep us coming back for more. From epic sagas like Final Fantasy and The Witcher to dark and mysterious realms like Bloodborne and Elden Ring, these titles have left their mark in the realm of fantasy. Let's dive in.
If I take the field, our duel will shake the island.
Kicking off our list is one of the most iconic franchises in gaming history, the Final Fantasy series. Whether it's the political intrigue of Final Fantasy Tactics or the emotional roller coaster of Final Fantasy VII, each entry weaves its own tale of crystal-powered destinies, warring nations, and unforgettable characters. The beauty of Final Fantasy lies in how it reinvents itself with every game. New worlds, new stories, but always with those classic elements that make the lore so rich: chocobos, summons, and deep interconnected mythologies. Over the years, Final Fantasy has perfected the art of blending magic, technology, and human drama, making each world feel like its own living, breathing place. It's a lore experience like no other, and that's why it deserves its spot here.
Let's do this.
Few games can match the sheer depth of lore that World of Warcraft offers. What began as the story of orcs versus humans has since grown into an epic, sprawling universe with centuries of history spanning continents, realms, and even dimensions. Over its many expansions, WoW has introduced players to an ever-expanding roster of characters, from the power-hungry Lich King to the enigmatic Illidan. Blizzard has crafted a world where every race, every faction, and every location has its own backstory. Whether you're reading in-game books or piecing together hidden lore from quests, World of Warcraft offers a universe brimming with story waiting to be uncovered.
I was born 87 years ago. For 65 years, I've ruled as Tamriel's emperor. But for all these years, I've never been the ruler of my own dreams. I have seen the gates of oblivion, beyond which no waking eye may see. Behold, in darkness, a doom sweeps the land.
No fantasy game list is complete without the Elder Scrolls series, and its lore is a massive reason why. From the moment you step into Tamriel, you're introduced to a world shaped by ancient gods, warring empires, and mysterious Daedric princes. With each game, whether it's exploring the icy lands of Skyrim or the political turmoil in Morrowind, the depth of the world's history unfolds before you. The series has one of the richest collections of in-game books, chronicling everything from legendary battles to obscure cultural practices. You don't just play an Elder Scrolls game, you live in its world. And the amount of detail packed into its lore ensures that there's always something new to uncover. Okami is an absolute masterpiece that blends Japanese mythology, folklore, and art into one beautiful package. You play as Amaterasu, the Japanese sun goddess incarnated as a white wolf, as you restore balance to a world consumed by darkness. The game draws heavily from Shinto traditions, with each god, spirit, and demon steeped in centuries-old myths. What makes Okami so special is how it seamlessly integrates these traditional stories into its gameplay, all while being a visual feast of traditional Japanese art styles. The lore isn't just the background, it's the lifeblood of the game, shaping every action you take and every character you meet. Though it may look like a simple indie game at first, Hollow Knight boasts a dark, mysterious world filled with rich lore just waiting to be discovered. Set in the decaying kingdom of Hallanist, the game's minimalist storytelling lets players uncover its tragic past through exploration. Whether it's through cryptic NPC dialogue or hidden environmental clues, Hollow Knight slowly reveals a tale of forgotten gods, ancient powers, and long-lost civilizations. It's a game that rewards curiosity, and its haunting atmosphere only deepens the impact of the lore. This is one of those games where every small detail adds to the larger picture, creating an unforgettable world.
The great Elden Ring was shattered. In our home, across the fog, the lands between.
From the minds of Hidetaka Miyazaki and George R.R. Martin, Elden Ring offers one of the most intricate and mysterious lores in gaming. Set in the lands between, the story is filled with cryptic hints, fragmented history, and larger-than-life deities. Much like Miyazaki's other works, the lore of Elden Ring isn't spoon-fed to you. Instead, it's uncovered through exploration, item descriptions, and piecing together fragmented narratives. Each region and character has its own role in the grand cosmic cycle that governs this world, making it one of the most rewarding games for lore hunters. For over 3 decades, the Legend of Zelda series has captured the imaginations of players worldwide. At the heart of the series lies the eternal conflict between the forces of good, represented by Link and Princess Zelda, and the malevolent power of Ganon. What's remarkable about Zelda is how its timeline isn't linear. There are multiple branching paths based on different outcomes of pivotal events. This complex, almost mythological timeline means that each game feels like part of a grand, ancient story. From the mysteries of the Triforce to the rich history of Hyrule, Zelda is a perfect example of how lore can elevate a game to legendary status. Known for its narrative depth, Planescape Torment is a classic RPG that delves into existential themes like identity, mortality, and redemption. Set in the Dungeons & Dragons multiverse, the game takes place in the city of Sigil, a place where portals can lead to any reality imaginable. The lore is rich with philosophical and moral questions, and your choices deeply affect how the story unfolds. The characters, each with their own complex backgrounds, add layers to the game's narrative. It's not just about saving the world, but understanding who you are and why you exist. The lore here is so deep that it continues to influence RPGs to this day.
Where's an outsider like yourself to begin? Easy, with a bit of yarn and blood of your own. But first, you'll need a contract.
In Bloodborne, lore is hidden in plain sight, waiting for players to piece together the horrific story behind Yharnam's curse. The game's gothic, Lovecraftian setting reveals a world steeped in cosmic horror, ancient rituals, and tragic fates. Much like its spiritual predecessor Dark Souls, Bloodborne doesn't present its story outright. Instead, you have to explore every nook and cranny, read item descriptions, and connect the dots to uncover its dark secrets. The lore is both terrifying and intriguing, offering a nightmarish glimpse into a world where ancient gods and eldritch powers reign.
That tower was ridiculous.
It was designed to break the rebels' morale.
A bunch of lords and lordlings took a ride to then pompously stride on top of the walls, while the real army fought and died below them in the shit and piss-filled streets.
If years of service have taught me anything, it's that the Highborn don the best costumes and get the best vantage points, whether at a ball or in battle. But it's not the time for that kind
The
of...
world of The Witcher is one of the richest in modern fantasy gaming. Based on Andrzej Sapkowski's novels, the games expand on the lore of Geralt of Rivia's monster hunting adventures. From the political intrigue between kingdoms to the moral grey areas in every decision, the Witcher universe is filled with deep, complex narratives. Every creature, every town, and every character has a backstory that ties into the larger world, and the choices you make can change the course of events in dramatic ways. It's a world that feels lived in, with centuries of history, conflict, and magic shaping it.
Very, very good. And thus is the hypothesis proven correct.
And that was our list of 10 fantasy games with some of the best lore in gaming history. Whether you're exploring the vast worlds of Final Fantasy, unraveling the mysteries of Bloodborne, or diving deep into the mythologies of The Witcher, each of these titles offers a rich experience that goes beyond just gameplay. These games create worlds and stories that stay with us long after we've put the controller down. If you enjoyed this list, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Nerds Games for more deep dives into gaming's best. Let me know in the comments which fantasy game lore captured your imagination. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.